40s and 9s. Oh, that's my favorite stuff. Hey, I'm gonna go in here and get me a malt liquor Slurpee. Run across the street and get me some barbecue potato chips. Ooh, can I keep the change? Hell no, fool. That's a $10 food stamp. Better bring back my change. Give me some stupid questions. What's up now, pretty punk chick? Yeah. Hey, what's up? We got a problem, Toothpick? I said, do we have a problem? Huh? Oh, you got a problem, buddy. Right here. Here's your problem. Right there. Right there. All right. Yeah. All right. Play a little game. Right here. I said, do we have a problem? Huh? Oh, USSR. Now you better get your stank asses up out of here before I cause a nuclear holocaust up in here, fool. Let's go. Oh, come on now. Fool, it'll be Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Oh, that's right, boy. You better get on out of here. And don't come back.
Oh, bootlicking, buck dancing, scratching, shuffling, messy Jesse Jackson. Keep. I am a somebody. I am a somebody. Keep hope alive. I am a somebody. I don't rightly know who the hell I am, but I am somebody.
They are supreme. I didn't say better. Supreme just means, hey, they can tell you what to do and you can't tell them. That makes them supreme. That's what white supremacy means. They can tell you what to do, but you can't tell them. You can't make them do nothing. And they'll challenge you if they, of course we usually don't challenge them. We'll stand there when we're mad and say we demand, but that's not really what we mean. We really mean we're asking in a loud voice, because we can't demand nothing. Because see, when it comes right down to it, when they back up and say, okay, you say you're demanding, you're gonna make me do what you want me to do? All right, do it. Say, come on now. Say, now you do this among your own people, you get away with it, but you're dealing with a master now. Make me. All this stuff you're talking about that you got to have, make me. You're intelligent. You said that you are. You said your people are this and that, and you come from a long line of this. Make me. None of us have proven that we can meet that yet. None of us. In all these years, some of us can talk pretty loud, and we can do a job on each other like you wouldn't believe. But when Master Man says, make me, we melt. And the evidence shows it. Now, is that supposed to make us feel real bad and crawl under a rock and all like that? No, that's what makes you strong. Why? According to logic. To admit that you're a prisoner of war is strength, if that's what you are. That's the first step toward not being a prisoner. Realize that you are one. But see, black males in particular, we like to flex our muscles. Boy, do we ever like to act like we are really men. And we will slaughter each other on 8th Street out there any day in the week to prove it. We ain't nowhere close. Because when the real man comes around, we melt. You see us running across parking lots and hiding under cars. When we were real men, we'd meet him halfway. We'd say, where is it? You ain't saying nothing but the word. Where is it? Point to which way he's coming from. All right?
I hate to say this about us, but the controlled press, the white press, inflames the white public against Negroes. The police are able to use it to paint the Negro community as a criminal element. The police are able to use the press to make the white public think that 90% or 99% of the Negroes in the Negro community are criminals. And once the white public is convinced that most of the Negro community is a criminal element, then this automatically paves the way for the police to move into the Negro community, exercising Gestapo tactics, stopping any black man who is on the sidewalk, whether he is guilty or whether he is innocent, whether he is well-dressed or whether he is poorly dressed, whether he is educated or whether he is dumb, whether he's a Christian or whether he is a Muslim. As long as he is black and a member of the Negro community, the white public thinks that the white policeman is justified in going in there and trampling on that man's civil rights and on that man's human rights. Once the police have convinced the white public that the so-called Negro community is a criminal element, they can go in and question, brutalize, murder unarmed, innocent Negroes, and the white public is gullible enough to back them up. This makes the Negro community a police state. This makes the Negro neighborhood a police state. It's the most heavily patrolled. It has more police in it than any other neighborhood. Yet it has more crime in it than any other neighborhood. How can you have more cops and more crime? Why? It shows you that the cops must be in cahoots with the criminals.
Now we got to go back to Dr. Wilson. Dr. Wilson said, supreme or superior means I can kill you with impunity. That's all it means. And we are in a system where we can be killed, people who have melanin, by the dominant white society. They can kill us with impunity and we can't do it to them. Therefore, they're in a superior position. So we've been outgunned. So when we say superior, it doesn't mean genetically superior, doesn't even mean smarter. Like if a sick psycho who has mental problems step to you with a gun and he has a gun on Cornel West. Cornel West is smarter than this guy. He might have more money than this guy, but the crazy guy with the gun is in a superior position. And that's how it is with the white supremacists. And what we have to do, we got to be honest about being in a situation where we're dominated by white supremacy. See, what we try to do, we try to come up with little code words and things to minimize the emotional anguish because of that. We don't like to be called inferior. We don't like to feel that we're in an inferior position. So we say it's not that bad. Well, white people, they ain't nobody. Yeah, they're somebody. And they can dominate us and do whatever they want to do to us, and we got to acknowledge that and come up with ways to figure out how to counter that, because we don't know how to successfully counter that. That's why we're marching around the country, talking about hands up, don't shoot, walking around with signs, because we don't know how to counter white supremacy. Yeah. Black Lives Matter movement, I think, is controlled opposition. Whenever you see something on television that they keep promoting over and over, look at Black Lives Matter, look at Black Lives Matter, that's controlled opposition, because they know the so-called leaders of Black Lives Matter, they've been vetted by white supremacy. George Soros, he funds Black Lives Matter. So that's a white-funded organization, just like the NAACP, to be honest. And in Hidden Colors 4, we talk about the hidden agenda of the NAACP. We go into that. But with Black Lives Matter, if you notice, whenever they get on television and it's time to talk about black issues, they will immediately start talking about lesbian issues, gay issues, transgender. They'll start talking about something else, and that's by design. So we have to start watching the people that the white supremacists are putting in front of us, telling us that they're our leaders. Because they have this big thing about telling us that these Black Lives Matter people, they're the black leaders now. So watch that.
You were born in Omaha, is that right?
Yes, sir.
And your family left Omaha when you were, what, 1 year old?
I imagine about a year old.
And why did they leave Omaha?
Well, to my understanding, the Ku Klux Klan burned down one of their homes in Omaha.
This
a lot of Ku Klux
made your family feel very unhappy, I'm sure.
Well, insecure, if not unhappy.
So you must have a somewhat prejudiced point of view, a personally prejudiced point of view. In other words, you cannot look at this in a broad academic sort of way, really.
I think that's incorrect, because despite the fact that that happened in Omaha, and then when we moved to Lansing, Michigan, our home was burned down again. In fact, my father was killed by the Ku Klux Klan. And despite all of that, no one was more thoroughly integrated with whites than I. No one has lived more so in the society of whites than I. And it was only until I became a Muslim that I ceased living in the society of whites.
You say you were thoroughly integrated with the whites. Do you have white people in your family background?
Definitely. Most Negroes in this country have whites in their family background. Because
how are you going to differentiate between the white blood that's in you and the Negro blood that's in you? And you don't mind using
no,
because you use this yourself.
I use it interchangeably.
I know you do. Why do you do that?
Well, I use it if it fits the purpose to use it, but I use it against my will.
But you used it voluntarily in describing an incident in Los Angeles.
Still, I use it against my will.
I guess the teachings weren't thoroughly inculcated.
No, but when I say to you that the cops in Los Angeles shot down 7 unarmed Negroes, every Negro in the audience knows what I'm talking about. But when I say that they shot 7 Muslims, then a lot of the Negroes don't realize that
suppose you said 7 colored people, because you say you used the term colored people. You said...
I don't think I used the word colored on this program.
Yes, you did. You did.
It's not colored.
I think so. Black people, I said.
Black. If we can use black, and that fits everything. But sir, the black...
With regard to that tragedy out there in Los Angeles, I myself refer to it when it happened as the tragic police action, so I am not totally biased.
Thank you, sir.
Coming from Muhammad Speaks, which is the publication of your cult or your religion, Elijah Muhammad referred to the policemen out there, the white policemen, as devils. He said, there is no justice here for us black people. There is no future for us nor our children in civilized America. Doesn't that imply that you're going to get out, or that's his wish that you get out?
If he referred to those policemen out there as devils, who were heavily armed and knew that the Negroes whom they were shooting down in cold blood were not heavily armed, I don't think that those policemen themselves would deny that they're devils. Nor would any Negro who witnessed such a deed deny that they're devils.
Well, about the other part of it, there's no justice here for us black people. There is no future for us nor our children in civilized America. And I didn't make that up. He said it in his own...
And he's correct in what he says, sir.
Well, what does it mean? Does it mean you're going to get out, or
It
what?
means the same thing that Attorney General Robert Kennedy means when he says that the #1 domestic problem in America is the race problem. That it is almost impossible to solve it. It's almost impossible to give justice to Negroes.
There are 9 areas of activity. The 8th area, the 7th area is religion. And economics, education, entertainment, labor, law, politics, religion, sex, and war. The white supremacists, when they got the idea that they were going to establish something called white supremacy, they said we have to dominate these people in all areas of activity, including their religion, particularly their religion, because religion is what? A strong belief backed up by action. That's all any religion is. And the white supremacists said we're going to make white supremacy the strongest religion that has ever existed. They have succeeded in that. They're not in the process of doing that. Christianity, Hinduism, Islam, Confucianism, Judaism, all of these other religions don't come anywhere close to being as strong as the religion of white supremacy. A strong belief backed up by action. So people are in complete disarray. Confusion, which is what the white supremacists do. They confuse people. Well, we got them confused. We're working on getting them all confused sexually. But we have long ago got them confused when it came to the seventh area of activity, religion. All of these dark-skinned people around here killing each other, hitting each other over the head with the Bible, having endless barbershop arguments about what Ezekiel meant, or what Solomon did or didn't do, or what Ruth said or didn't say. We got them confused. That's what we do. We take any holy book and we read it, and we thoroughly add to it and subtract from it. And then we distribute pamphlets, or samples of it. That adds to the confusion. With our names on it. And we establish different type of churches and whatnot. Different church on every corner with a different name. It's supposed to be the same religion, but we got a different church with a different name. Add to the confusion. Go over here to the Protestant church. Oh no. They don't know what they're talking about. Then go over here to the Catholic Church. And oh no, they don't know what they're talking about. Well, what about Jehovah's Witnesses? Okay, well, we'll sample some of that. And they don't know what they're talking about. And then the white supremacists sit back, well, when it comes to all you dark-skinned people, you got one religion. And that's the religion that I say that you have. But I might say, depending on how I feel, that you will have all of them at once, or none of the above. But you will bow down to one religion, and that's the religion of white supremacy. I don't care what you think in your heads, and you black people can argue all you want to in the barbershops over there on the colored side of town, or in your millions of churches. You can scream and yell and stomp and holler, but when the white supremacists walk into your church and say, all of you, get on your knees to me, because I'm the one who feeds you, clothes you, shelters you, and even allows you to have a church on this corner rather than a parking lot. So you will do what I say, or you will feel my wrath. I'm your God, and don't you ever forget it.
Most of us talk about white supremacy, but we have never understood the architecture of white supremacy. Therefore, we continue to be victims of it because the light of truth has not shown the root of white supremacy. Once the light of the sun strikes the root of the tree dies. And what has happened to black people and white people and Jews and Gentiles is that a small group, 10%, have deceived and misused 85% of the people and sucked their blood to live in luxury at the expense of those who do not understand the law of cause and effect and believe in a mystery God and a poison animal eaters. But the wickedly wise have known the truth, and because they know the truth and they know the time, they are working night and day to trick you out of the promise of God and take you down to hell with them because the time of their end has come. Architecture of white supremacy has never been brought to the table to be discussed. The architecture of white supremacy will have to be exposed so the tree of white supremacy can die and the tree of humanity can live.